We acknowledge the traditional custodians of Canberra, the Ngunnawal and Ngambri people, their elders past and present, and we will walk gently on their sacred ground. We acknowledge the members of the Tongan royal family currently residing here in Canberra, the leaders of this country, and representatives of all Pacific Island nations here. Welcome everyone to the Lo'au University Multimedia program, Storytelling. My name is Luseane Lafitani, and on this rather cool autumn afternoon in Canberra, Wednesday 21st of April 2021. This program brings people from all communities and cultural backgrounds here in Australia and from all over the world to tell you their story. Everyone has a story, and if I'm not mistaken, everyone likes to hear a story. Here in the studio, I have young Paula Monta. He's my special guest. He's going to be talking to you about his life as a young person, his achievements, his future plans, his hopes for the future, and whatever else he pleases or wants to tell us. Thank you. Stay listening. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
Good. Just had school.
Oh, the wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
How was school today, just to start off our program?
It was hard. Yeah, busy.
What year are you?
Year 11.
Oh, the big year.
Yeah.
Till next year. Lots of good things happening.
Yep.
So Paula, like every story will start from the beginning. Let's go right back to the beginning. Born where?
I was born in New Zealand, 2000.
Good country.
Yeah.
Aotearoa.
Yeah, in 2004. My parents did everything for me. They struggled a lot just to, keep
just
diapers.
To make sure you're well looked after.
Yeah.
Happy.
Yeah, I was a hungry baby, so I ate a lot. They didn't eat, so most of the time.
So Paula, you are the eldest of three.
Three, yes. So it is me, my brother Jacob, and my little brother Siwa.
And we've had JJ on the program previously. Now we have the big man here. So with your for me, because I'm an old person, I'll say with your short life. But for you, it's a big life, you know. So you're now 16?
16, yes.
Wow, 16. Ready to conquer the world.
Yeah.
So growing up in New Zealand, what are your good memories about growing up in New Zealand?
It was simple. Like
family?
Family, yeah, heaps.
Lots and lots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my nana, everyone back in New Zealand, they all looked after us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's how family is.
Yeah.
And especially with our Tongan families, we live close to each other.
Too close.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So lots of cousins?
Yes, lots. Heaps.
Aotearoa?
Can't even count.
Yeah. Your brother spoke about moving to Wellington.
Yeah.
Do you remember much about moving to Wellington from Auckland?
I remember it was because Dad went to study there. He got a scholarship to go study in Wellington, so we moved. And when we got there, we liked it there, so we just stayed there for the rest of our time in New Zealand.
In New Zealand.
Yeah.
So with New Zealand now, I know that's where you were introduced to judo.
Yeah. One day we were looking for a house. We found one, and our landlord was a judo master, and he looked at us. He was like, "Oh, you guys
must be going ding 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 ding."
Yeah, money.
Because they can sense talent.
Yeah.
You know, any football coaches or whatever.
Yeah.
As soon as they see someone, they can They can smell talent, I think.
He can taste, basically, yeah.
And so both of you, and he must have been at the best day of his life.
Yeah.
Seeing you two.
He asked if we can come and like practice with them judo. And
so how old were you then, Paula, when you started judo?
9 turning 10.
And you would have started, and straight away, I guess, did you like your first lesson?
Well, I remember the first time I went in there, we went in and I thought I didn't like it at first, but I saw people getting thrown around and getting smashed.
This must be fun.
Yeah. It must be fun for me because I'm a big guy, you know. Yeah. And I just, I liked it.
I'm just thinking about the other people that were in the school when you walked in, where you and JJ walked in, and knowing how old you were, they must have thought, oh my goodness me, we've got giants joining the school.
Yeah, they're a little scared at first, but we were a little scared as well because we didn't know what to do. But as time went on, yeah.
So you took to it like water, like duck to water.
Yeah.
And as you said, I guess learning a new skill, learning about a different type of discipline, because you were already playing
rugby league, yeah.
Rugby league.
Yeah.
And liking that too, and being very good at that.
Yeah.
So you played in Auckland. When you went down to Wellington, did you play league there too?
Yes, I played for the Rainwood Kingfishers in Wellington. That's like a small rugby league club that we have. Yeah.
Nice. So how did you? Obviously, they must have seen you coming, and thought that they were blessed to have you. So you played league. Did you play any other sport apart from league and judo? Because your brother talked about playing soccer. So, did you play soccer? No.
Oh, I must have did.
You're saving yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so in Wellington, and life there would have been a little bit harder because you left family in Auckland. But you still found family.
Family in Wellington.
Of course.
Yeah.
As Tongans do.
Yeah.
Wherever they go, they find family.
Yeah.
I remember watching one of the other school program, and there were some people from, I think, Norway.
Yeah.
And I said, you wouldn't think, but of course there's Tongans in Norway. So anyway, Paula, your parents decided to come to Australia, to Canberra.
Yeah.
How was that when they told you?
I didn't know where Canberra was at first. I was like, what? Where's Canberra? And found out it was the capital city of Australia, or territory. Yeah. But
also just the sense, of moving countries.
Yeah.
Leaving family and friends.
It was pretty scary.
Yeah. So you had friends, obviously you made friends in Wellington.
Yeah. Yeah, I made heaps. And it's like when you move, like you might not talk to them ever again.
Because a lot of young people talk about moving because their parents have to move for work or whatever. And they talk about the stress of that. It's usually, especially leaving their friends behind.
Yeah.
And wondering whether you'll make new friends again in the new country.
Yeah.
So you moved here to Canberra with your family. How was it when you hit Australia or when you hit Canberra?
It's culture shock. Yeah. I realised Tongans here and Tongans in New Zealand are different. Two different kind of people.
So what's the difference? What's the main difference between the, Aussie Tongans and the Kiwi Tongans?
Oh, well, when I got here, the New Zealand slang was still with me. So when I spoke to some of the Tongans here, they didn't get it. So I still had that,
the New Zealand accent.
Yeah.
And also not just the New Zealand accent, but the Islander New Zealand accent,
Yeah.
you know, because we Pacific Islanders have a different way of speaking too,
Yeah.
and like the Maoris have a different way of, because usually in New Zealand you can tell if someone talks, oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's someone, or he's Maori, or
Yeah.
he's whatever. Hey, you can tell straight away, which is a wonderful uniqueness about us. So you came here, you found that language was a little bit different.
Yeah.
What else was different with the Tongans here to, as opposed to Aotearoa?
Nothing really. I think it's just the different languages. Yeah.
And not having as many of your wonderful family here.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
But eventually we did find some family here.
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't, and it doesn't take much looking.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether your family found the other family when they visited church, because that's one of the places that Tongans talk about. When they go to a new country or a new city, they usually, the men will go to a cover group, find
Yeah.
where the cover group is,
Yeah.
or the families will go to church.
Church, yeah.
So I wonder which of those groups. I think maybe the church is where mum and dad would have found more family.
Yeah, dad never went cover. He's doesn't like it. Yeah.
You know, I don't mind a bit of kava.
Really?
I've only had it once,
Once.
and yet I actually enjoyed the sensation. I brought my work friends here, and Siwa was our toa,
Yeah.
so he made us a bowl of kava, and my friends and I sat for about 8 hours drinking kava.
That's a long time.
It's a, but you know what? From that day on, Paula, I understood why men sat for hours.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that they're sitting there looking at the door,
Yeah.
but just it actually makes time. You lose sense of
Yeah.
time. Anyway, let's get away from the cover. You're here. You went to school. So did you go to Red Hill too?
No, I jumped straight into high school.
Straight
Yeah.
into high school.
Yeah.
Was that Telopia? Is that
Tilapia,
now?
yeah.
My kids went there too.
Really?
Yes. So I know Telopia and Red Hill too.
Yeah.
So I know the area. What did you find? Because it's nice for people to know the differences. Your experience, you know, of going to school here in Canberra as opposed to going to school in Aotearoa.
Yeah.
What were the differences?
There weren't.
Apart from not many islanders around.
Yeah. Oh, like it was harder. It was like, yeah.
And harder in which way? Was it stricter or not as strict, or making friends, or
Making friends was hard.
making friends?
And strict. School was strict. It was strict.
A lot stricter here
Yeah.
than in Auckland
Yeah.
or Wellington.
Yeah.
Really? Goodness, I thought that, you know, I thought that New Zealand would be stricter. Wow. You went to a Catholic school in Wellington?
Oh,
Was
it's
it Catholic
Christian.
school? Christian school
Yeah.
in Wellington, and that wasn't strict. Telopia stricter.
Yeah.
There you go. My kids always told me, but I never believed them. I thought they were just making excuses. So Telopia took you a little while to make friends, but I bet you've made friends now.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Long time friends.
Yes, yeah. Once you do, sometimes it takes a little bit. Some people just go into it as though it's so easy. The transition's easy, and some people it takes a little while for them to get used to the water,
Yeah.
feeling the water. So now you've got great friends at Telopia. School-wise, how are you doing? What's your favourite subject?
Favorite subject right now? It's gotta be science.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not one of the easier subjects, but obviously you've got a mind that likes that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Good on you. So you're doing well, and then maybe when next year, year 12, have you thought about where you're going to college?
Oh, I'm already going to college. I'm in Narrabundah College right
You're
now.
going to Narrabundah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nerabunda College, of course, and then from there to uni.
Yeah.
Anyway, with your schooling aside, there are other things that you do in your life, like sports.
Yeah.
And I guess very recently you've been doing quite well with certain sports. Judo.
Yeah.
And you brought along some medals here to show everyone. And I know you two boys are just brilliant and super energetic. I think you've got to be energetic to do this sport.
Yeah.
And super talented. Because I'm looking at all these medals in front of me. Can we have a look at the first one, Paula?
Oh, first one is a gold.
The first one is a gold. And where did you win that and when?
I won this at the ACT International, and this was I had this when I first came here.
When you first came here?
I first came here and
would that be your first competition here?
Yeah.
And you won gold?
I won gold.
That is unbelievable. So you won gold, and what age group is that?
This was senior boys.
Senior boys, and you weren't senior?
Yeah, I was senior. I was still like 13, 14.
So you're 13 winning a senior gold medal in judo. And the next one?
The next one was a year later.
Would that be your favourite?
Yes.
Sort of win? If you can say a favourite win, would that be something that a win that you'll never forget?
Yeah. So the backstory to this one is this was at the Sydney International competition, and at this competition, I hurt my knee during one of these matches.
Right.
That I had, and I was in the final, and the person that I was gonna verse, his dad came up to me and he said, you might as well not fight because you're gonna hurt yourself.
Because you've got a sore knee.
Yeah, and he made me feel like useless. He made me feel like I can't do it.
There was a ploy.
Yeah.
He was wanting you to pull out.
Yeah, he wanted.
I think he was quietly happy that you've got a sore knee, which meant that his son would
go for that knee and eventually get me injured.
So, the story is still to come. What happened?
Went into the final and me and his son versed. We fought for like at least nearly 10 minutes, and then I eventually won.
What about the knee?
Oh, he went for the knee like
I bet.
a couple of times. Nearly all the time.
How long did it take for you to win the match?
Nearly 10 minutes, almost.
How long is a match usually?
Match is usually 3 minutes.
30 minutes?
3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Yeah.
But you won this match in 10 minutes?
Because neither of us didn't want to go down.
With a sore knee?
Yeah.
This tells you what this young man is all about. In a judo match, with a sore knee, and he still won. And how long ago was that, Paula?
This was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, in Sydney.
In Sydney, yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the biggest competitions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
this one.
This is another gold.
This is the latest one. Another gold.
I got this Sunday. I got it on Sunday.
Couple of days ago. Still fresh.
Yeah, still.
You can still, the paint's still drying on the gold.
Yeah.
So what was this? What age group was this?
This was cadets. This was cadet men's.
Men's.
Yeah.
Not young people. Men's group here, and you won the gold.
Yeah.
So what's that competition? Is there a special name for it, or?
No, it's just
ACT,
the ACT International.
ACT is International.
This was our first competition since the virus.
Oh, so that was special.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have had anything last year.
Yeah.
So when was the last competition?
This one.
That one?
Yes.
And that's, you said, nearly 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit
Yeah.
and everything closed down.
Yeah.
So this is the first
This
one.
is the first one, yeah.
Yeah. Did you notice any difference coming back after COVID? Was there, was the, the auditorium where lots of people allowed, or did they have only a certain amount allowed?
Only certain amounts. You
Okay,
had to
still
have,
being very careful.
you had to have tickets and they were careful.
Masks.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to wear masks
Nah.
during your...
Not me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. So how did you enjoy coming back?
Oh, I was still a little bit rusty. I haven't.
So rusty he won a gold medal. I'd hate to see how you are when you're full on fit and ready to go.
Yeah.
So when is your next comp, Paula?
The Nationals.
Which is that
It's in 6 weeks.
here in Canberra?
No, it's in Brisbane.
In Brisbane?
Yeah.
Flying up?
No, we have to drive.
Ooh, well that's exciting. So you'll be going up to Brisbane. How long does a competition go for?
2 days.
2 days.
Normally 2 days, yeah.
Yeah. So you fight
Fight.
until you get to wherever. Yeah. So I guess when you get up to Brisbane, a lot of people already know you.
Yeah.
A lot of people you'll be fighting are hoping that you won't come up from Canberra. They're hoping that we're closed down in Canberra. So you'll be going up there, and because I don't know what that's like, but I'm just imagining that a lot of people will be quite worried if you arrive with your brother.
Yeah, with
Because
my
you
brother.
two are an awesome pair.
Yeah.
So you'll be arriving there and you'll go for this. And what's that? So that's a national competition.
So that's a competition for all Australia, all of Australia. Yeah.
Mm. Have you ever been in a national comp?
Yes, I have. I came third in the Nationals.
You came third. The way you say I came third.
Mm.
That is an amazing accomplishment, Paula, to come 3 in a national.
The thing is, my brother came first.
Oh, that's the one he spoke about.
Yeah.
Now I get it. But, as he said, you would have gotten it if whatever. And I think that's life. Sometimes life throws you a doozy and you've just got to catch it and keep going, Even though your dad was like, what the hell did you do that for? Did it?
Yeah.
But, because dads can't help themselves and mums can't help themselves.
Oh,
I know
it was mum. It was mum.
It was mum?
It was mum.
See, it's in my family.
Yeah.
Sort of. Anyway, so you've got nationals coming up in Brisbane, and I know you'll do well. What sort of preparation?
Just training a lot of training, a lot of cardio training, muscle groups training, everything. Just to get ready for the Nationals.
Yeah, and you've already started, or have you started? How long have you been prepping?
Just 2 days.
Oh, when you're that talented.
Yeah.
Anyway, and you do enjoy competition, obviously. So, in your other life of sports, which is football or
yeah.
not football,
Rugby league.
league. How are you going with that? Are you going to play this year?
We're playing in 2 weeks actually.
Oh, so you are going to?
Yeah, we're playing in 2 weeks at GIO. Me and my team.
Are you in the same club as JJ?
Yeah. He plays younger than me though, so.
So what age group are you playing?
Under 17s.
Under 17s.
Yeah.
Getting there, getting to the big boys. Wow. So are you doing any special training for that, or you just go to training when training's on?
Just go training when training's on.
Do you enjoy your rugby, your league? So if you had to choose, if your dad says, right, I haven't got enough energy to run you to training, Paula, choose judo or league.
That's a hard one. Because I like them both.
1, 2, 3.
League.
League. This young man who's got a handful of gold medals if it comes to the crunch, he'll choose league. Well, a little message here to your parents. Don't stop driving him. He needs to keep doing judo.
Yeah.
So with what you do, and I know your brother talked about your parents and how committed they are, and we know your parents, and we know their commitment. How does that feel? Because you know you must know a lot of your friends whose parents don't have the same, commitment and.
Oh, feel blessed. You know, sometimes I'm like annoying to them, but they know what's best for me.
Yes, and you will know what's best for you too.
Yeah.
And you learn as you grow up what's best. But you're a young man, and you're learning, and sometimes you don't listen, and that's just the way it is growing up. You know, there are times that your parents will find, he's wrong with this boy, he can't hear. He's just growing up. So, you're a young man now, you're 16, and I know that there's lots of things that happen to a young man when they're 16. I had a young person who talked to me about, I think he wasn't quite 16, but he talked to me about girlfriends.
Really?
Yes. I'm going to ask you that, and let's pretend that your parents aren't watching. Any around? Any hanging on, lovely young people hanging around, ringing you up, annoying your parents? No? Good on you. You've got plenty of time for that. Absolutely plenty. You'll be tired of them later, let me tell you. And later on, when you have a wife, you'll be tired of her too. But it's just life. Yeah. So I think Paula, you've got this sports thing pretty much sewed up. What is your thinking about future? Is there anything that you'd like to go towards study-wise in the future?
In the future, I would like to be a OT, occupational therapist. Yeah.
Wow. Have you been thinking about this for a while, or is it a new thing that you've thought about? Because that's a great career.
For a while.
For a while.
Me and my mom had a talk about it. She said it's not enough of like occupational therapists around, so
I can tell you she's right with that, because there's, having if in another workplace trying to book an OT for a client there was a waiting list, and I think it's worse now. So she will know that from her field how much we need. There's lots of, someone was talking about therapists, just masseurs and sports therapists. There's not enough, and because lots of big clubs worldwide will come and take them overseas. And I remember someone told me about a story about the masseur for the All Blacks, this is a few years ago, and he wasn't a university trained, masseur. He was a man that was, known to massage. I think he was massaging one of the players or maybe the coach, and they found out that he was very skilled. So he came in and he was really good. And I think sometimes they're rare, people like that who just have that inbuilt skill. But you have opportunity here in Canberra
That's what I found.
Yes, to study. Good on you. Be watching you on your way to OT.
Thank you.
It's good money too.
Yeah.
Quite good money. So you've got that, down pat. And you belong to a church group here, you and your family?
Yeah.
I know you do. And you enjoying that?
Yeah.
Is there any difference between your church group here and your one in Aotearoa?
It's a little smaller.
It would be. So because church groups over there are huge.
Yeah.
But because Canberra's a small place, and we have a lot of church groups here, Tongan church groups here. So I guess your group will be one of the smaller ones. Paula, what's your thoughts about future? Is there anything that you've thought about that you wished? And I'm not talking about for yourself, but I'm talking about what you observed as a young man here What are some of the things that you wish would happen in your community or in your school, in this country? Is there anything that you wished would happen, or that just a wish from a young person?
I wish there was like less street violence. A lot of kids get hurt because of it.
Yes.
Because they get mixed with the wrong crowd. And parents have to look after them.
Yeah. Well, you know, Paula, that there's a lot of work being done to lessen that in Aotearoa.
Yeah.
And in Sydney, Brisbane, and the big cities. And we're also looking at that here, but particularly talking to our Pacific Islander young people to think about what they do, to think about looking out for one another, especially, and to think about lessening that. So maybe that's another thing, because I guess, you know, when I look at you, you would have no problem looking after yourself anywhere. But there's a lot of young people who might look at you and think, you know, and yet you're absolutely not that. You know, I think you're...
Yeah, whenever I walk around, like, in the suburbs, like the clean suburbs, they always stare at me.
Yes.
Like some kind of like gonna do something bad or something.
And you know that's fear-based.
Yeah.
Because people don't really understand, or they don't really... And instead of coming up to you and saying, hello, my name is Lucy, I'd like to get to know you, and where do you come from? But they will just be, you know... But there's also a reason why people look at us fearfully.
I could understand why.
Yeah. There's a lot of history and current situations that make people very worried about meeting up or coming up against a Pacific Islander.
Yeah.
So I guess it's something that you're really aware of. And I know that you'll work really hard towards undoing those myths about us, that we're not scary, you know.
We're actually... Like, we won't bite.
Just don't mess with us.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we're coming to the end of our interview, Paula.
Yeah.
Is there something you'd like to say to your family, wherever, to people that you know?
I just like to say to all my family back in New Zealand, really miss you, and to all the family here, I miss you too. Come visit sometimes. And to all my little cousins and all the little kids that are, you know, like not listening at home. Just your parents know what's best for you, you know. And stay in school.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go. There's a big message. Stay in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know we have a high incident of leaving school early. Us, Pacific Islanders. So that's a great message coming from a young person. And a lot of people will be looking up to you and watching you.
Yeah.
Listening to you. Thank you, Paula.
Thank you.
So here we go. We've just been listening to Paula Monta Pohiva and his story, and what an amazing young person this is. And these are the young people that we're so proud to have on this program. And he comes from a family that's very supportive, as you've heard. He's busy doing what he's doing. He's already looking at future and looking at his study. And this is what we want for our young people. Thank you so much for listening and watching us today. MALO au bito o whalaeatu.